What happens when you take one of the most iconic characters in gaming, Steve from Minecraft, and have him played by Jack Black in the Minecraft movie? Better yet, what if you reimagine that same Steve across 4 completely different art styles? I challenged myself to redraw Minecraft movie Steve in 4 art styles: realism, anime, Adventure Time, and Tim Burton's. Let's break down how each version came to life, and which one almost broke me. Let's go! First up, realism. I took the official Minecraft movie design and started building towards it. When sketching for realistic proportions, you don't need to be really precise, or at least that's my approach, since I prefer to do the detail when coloring and keep the sketch very loose. I do the base color with a big brush. I usually try to use a mid-tone first so I can refine with lights and shadows later. Everything looks a bit vague and undefined at this stage. I first made the eyes a bit too big and separated on the sketch, probably because of the more anime or cartoon style I use more often, but adjusted them to make them more realistic. Jack Black has relatively small eyes, but they are very expressive, and I think matching the eye's expression and size is very important when trying to do realistic proportions. One thing that helps me see the lights and shadows in the reference image is trying to see it from a distance, or sometimes making my vision blurry on purpose. I don't know if everyone can do that, but I can blurry my vision at will, and somehow that just tunes out the details and makes the big lights and shadows more apparent. It helps when trying to see the 3D volumes. I didn't want to make it super detailed and draw each individual hair, so I basically took some thinner brushes and made some squiggly lines here and there to give the bird some texture. Making a drawing following a real reference picture is a great exercise to learn anatomy. I don't do realism very often, and when I do, I rarely post it online, even though it is one of the styles that people in general appreciate the most. Also added some highlights, detail, and shine to the hair. The hand needed a bit of refinement too, but didn't do too much since it's not that important. When looking at the reference, I saw that my Steve was a bit too wide on the face, so I erased a bit around both sides, especially on the forehead, cheek, and beard on his right. And finally, I made the pickaxe, which was fairly the easiest part of this drawing. I like to leave small strokes visible to give it a painterly feeling. I found this to be a good warming up for the next ones that are going to be more stylized. What do you think of the result? I liked it. Anime style. When starting the sketch, I immediately go to the eyes. At first, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do super big eyes like Dragon Ball, but decided to go with something more subtle but still anime style. I tried to capture the expression, making the cheek or more like the lower lash pushing a bit upwards towards the eye, which makes him have a more playful look. Then I got to the hand. I was still working with the reference, and it helps a lot, because the hands are one or if not the most difficult part of the body to draw. I still have to look up hand posing reference pictures when going for a specific pose because they are so tricky. Ugh, why do we have to have so many fingers? They will be much easier to draw if we had claws, but then drawing at all will be incredibly more difficult in that case, right? For inking, I took a thin brush that has a pointy end and went over the sketch, always having some spikes in the hair here and there. Since I sketched with a blue pencil, it's easy for me to tell where I have already inked, and it also helps to lower the opacity of the sketch to do this. As usual, I go and do all the base colors first, but for the animal style, I go and use the bucket fill tool to get an even flat color instead of doing big brush strokes like the previous style. If you notice that the whole drawing kind of flickers sometimes with the color filling the entire page from time to time, that's because I'm trying to fill up everything, dropping the color in Procreate, but it turns out I had really tiny gaps in the lines that let all the color out, and then I had to go back and close them before filling it up again. Eventually, I gave up trying to use that tool and went ahead and filled everything by hand, using a brush first to go over all the little edges within the lines and then filling everything up. Then, I started experimenting with the beard color, because in the reference picture of Jack Black as Steve, he does not have a plainly gray or white beard, but has some color variation in it, so I tried to add some of that with a couple of different color strands. Once the base colors were done, I simply went ahead and added shadows and a subtle reddish tone over the nose. It's a very different workflow from the realistic style. I am a huge fan of the Ghibli movies. My absolute favorite is Chihiro's Journey. And on the other hand, right now I'm watching Dungeon Meshi, so it's not surprising that my anime Steve looks like a blend between Ghibli's character and Senshi's design. I really like how this one turned out. Do you like it too? What time it is now? It's time for Adventure Time, Steve! Still the same upper body pose, but in this world, everything's wobblier, simpler, and a lot goofier. The sketch was super easy and fast to do, and I decided to draw the mouth open to have a bit more detail to do and to have the chance to do the goofy little separated teeth. His eyes are little dots, his arms are noodles, and the shirt, one flat color. I love how you can take something rugged and complicated and make it cute and squishy. I started inking using a uniform tip, so the liner maintains the same width in all places in the same style as Adventure Time's character designs. Once the inking is done, we will just color everything flat. No shading, no lighting, no nothing. It's super easy. It's the simplest style ever. I'd like to imagine he'd team up with Bimu and blast creepers with music. No mess, no stress, just good adventure vibes. I would totally watch a wacky Minecraft cartoon series with this character. I apologize in advance for any traumas that result of watching this finished Steve. Sketching this one was fun. I hadn't done Tim Burton's style, and he has a very distinct one. It was a challenge because Jack Black's persona is very friendly and inviting, and I needed to do the total opposite and make him somber and unapproachable. I think the most challenging part is when looking for reference pictures of Burton's style. We get a ton of skinny character designs, and very few who are chubby. So it would have been easier to just do a very thin and tall character, but that would fit an Enderman better than Minecraft movie Steve. As usual, I followed the sketching, inking, and shading steps. I did smooth shading to try and emulate the stop-motion figures finish in the Burton movies. By the way, my favorite animated movie of his is Nightmare Before Christmas, a classic. What's yours? Let me know in the comments. So here he is, in all of its glory. He's pale, creepy, and looks like he hasn't slept since the beta release. I made the beard have those signature Burton swirls, gave him a lot of teeth and a very wide mouth, curled the mustache, and made the eyes look very sunken. He looks like he's waiting, or haunted, or both. I would not want him to visit my server ever, would you? So there it is, 4 versions of Jack Black's Steve from the Minecraft movie, all based on the same simple pose and character, but told in 4 different visual languages. It's amazing how much personality you can pack into just a head and shoulders shot, depending on the style. Like, subscribe, and drop your suggestions for the next style challenge, whether it's Creeper in Pixar style or a chicken jockey in realistic. Until next time, keep drawing outside the block.